What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone messiah, Phillip Antoine, joined by BT, the Canadian destroyer, Brandon Tanguma. We're talking about Elimination Chamber, went down in Toronto, Canada. Brandon,
Ugh,
oh, we got a lot to talk about, brother. We got a lot to talk about. How you doing?
doing just fine. A little under the weather. I don't know what's going on this year, but your boy feels like I'm being sick every other week. But I'm here, Mr. No Days Off, and unfortunately here to talk about another Canadian PLE.
This might be the greatest Canadian PLE of all time.
Definitely the most newsworthy one.
Yes. I mean, what do we? I usually like to do the biggest stuff first. I mean, do we do it? Do we just do it?
I think we got to start with the main event, and then we go into what happened after. It's just one clean segment that
Well,
lasted, like well over an hour.
we'll work our way back. Elimination Chamber: Damian Priest, John Cena, CM Punk, Logan Paul, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. I get them all.
I believe so.
Yes, they're all in the chamber. I mean, frog splashes off pods, double buckshot lariats, multiple go to sleeps, curb stomps, attitude adjustments, roll ups. A lot went down. How did you like the structure of this match?
I thought it was just like a standard Elimination Chamber match. Nowadays they're not going to be anything too crazy. I did like the ending, with the Seth, CM Punk, and Cena. That kind of got it going. The beginning and middle, or yeah, beginning and middle parts. It was fine for what it was. Drew McIntyre getting kind of the early exit after allegedly he became like the betting favorite, I guess, at closing, which I didn't know about. Shocker, I know. I know about betting stuff, but he got eliminated by Priest, so that sets that up. Logan Paul gets eliminated by Priest, or Priest gets eliminated by Paul. Logan kind of felt like the odd man out. Like you can tell in this match, they're building towards things, towards WrestleMania and Logan Paul. Um, you know, we'll talk about Rob. Maybe he's gonna go up against AJ Styles, but there's nothing for him to do in this match in terms of building something to WrestleMania.
I see. I see. I see. Mm, How do you feel about Paul's performance?
And it was fine. I think he did like the buckshot lyric to Punk, and they kind of almost did the exact same sequence that Punk did to Hangman in
It was the same.
it well, it was a little different. He slapped him.
Yeah. Okay. That's the difference. Yeah.
He wishes that was Hangman Page. He could slap him. But
Guys, I don't think it runs that deep. I don't
yeah,
think it runs.
I think Punk is over it. I don't think they're over it, which is a
No,
reason why
they're
he's
not
not there.
over it.
That's
Did you go to Collision?
well, sorry. I meant to say it the other way. I think Punk is over it. They are not over it.
Yeah, no, they're not. Did you go to Collision?
I did go to Collision.
No, you really did.
I did go to Collision. It was a fun time with me and 2,500 other people. It was, yeah. So I was very surprised. I was not uh spoiled anything from Elimination Chamber because you remember we went to the New Japan show,
And there was some
same,
guy watching.
yeah, same night as Elimination Chamber in Montreal. I don't think we got too much spoiled, but we got definitely were people around us watching and talking about it. But luckily for this one, there was nothing.
Wow,
Yep.
wow, okay, I see, I see. We'll get your full Collision analysis on the regular episode. But yeah, all in all, Seth, I mean, just bulldozing Cena through the chamber, plexiglass. Cena taking the buckle bomb or the, I guess, chamber bomb to the outside on the chain realm of the chamber. Uh, yeah, Seth's pettiness caught up to him. Got put to sleep, and then I mean, Punk trying to get away. Seth stomps him. Uh, what you call it? STF for John to get the win. John and Punk, they still have that chemistry, man.
Yeah, John saying I'm sorry when he quickly took advantage of the stomp on the outside. You know, obviously maybe foreshadowing what was going to happen later on, but I did, in the moment was like, oh man, Cena really just like took advantage of that very quickly instead of like, doing something of his own or
Hey, it's that last shot, man.
but yeah, like I said, I thought the Punk Cena Rollins ending I thought was very well done. As you said, telling the story of Rollins still not over Punk, and that's costing him, and ultimately costing Punk as well. So it gives Punk a reason to want to go after Seth, and Cena ultimately he got the win, like we predicted. Apparently not the betting predicted, but yeah. So Cena wins, and sets up the Cody Rhodes John Cena babyface versus babyface matchup we all been waiting for, right, Phillip?
Yes, yes, the American Nightmare comes out there, uh, all decked out in his suit, shakes hands. The face of this generation shaking hands with the face of a generation prior, and then the music of the final boss and Travis Scott hit. A blending of the final boss theme and Fiend as the final boss makes his way down to the ring with Travis Scotty, the hardcore champion of WWE. Believe it or not.
Yeah, the real Cactus Jack, right?
Come on now, hello. Yeah. So then
Mick
the
Foley was a little mad about that, but then I think they've reconciled.
yeah.
It's okay.
I know. What's up with the rappers just wanting to go by uh go by wrestling personas? Remember when Diddy was trying to be Brother Love? Anyway, the final boss says, Cody, it's time. You know, I want. He said, I want your mind. I thought he was gonna say body and soul, but I want your soul. Damn near, I need your soul. The American Nightmare can have anything he wants, or the dream will die. Again, talking about his father, talking about the American dream. So this little bit of it, how did you feel before we get into everything else?
Um, I mean, just like the entrance and then the Rock little thing, it was exactly what you would expected. I didn't think they were gonna go like on a whole back and forth, like promo battle back and forth, just Rock saying matter of factly, give me your answer, and Cody was gonna give his answer back. I did like the dream dying again line. I thought that was just another, cheeky little heel line from The Rock there. But why Travis Scott was there, I have no idea. I know he's the theme of WrestleMania, and allegedly he's training. But at the end of the day, we're gonna look back 20 years from now of why the hell was Travis Scott in that ring. But it's it's kind of
Star
funny.
power, even more star power. Yeah, yeah. Cody says, my soul no longer belongs to me; it belongs to these people. Rock, go fuck yourself. Not censored. You're like, oh. Um, the Rock, just has this look on his face. Looks at the Cody looks at John, points at him. John was just doing his theatrical face. He's like, oh, they they go for the hug, and then Cena's face changed, and The Rock does the slit with two fingers up this time. Bad Blood, he did three.
Oh God, everyone, we need to wait for the one. Who's gonna be the one?
You know,
Long-term
uh,
storytelling, brother.
so let's talk about that. Or do we just want to get into what happened?
Cody, I thought him cussing was amazing. Christian probably cried a tear somewhere because now that uh, snippet is going to be used instead of his snippet. And yeah, it was a great moment of Cody rejecting The Rock. And then once again, Cena just in the background, just so goofy and just
We,
overacting.
he's been doing that.
That's
So
the problem, is he just does it all the time. And not saying that
so
like
I
I
mean,
saw
it's
it,
not.
not saying I saw it coming, but it was like, oh God, Cena's just like really hamming it up right now. And it made my antennas went up just a little bit.
Yeah, and then Dick Kick City, John Cena. Look, I mean, we've heard every analysis of this already. This is the bullet cast analysis, ladies and gentlemen. John Jonathan Felix Anthony Cena. Yes, I use the government name. Has officially become a bad guy in WWE. Now, people are going to say, "Oh, well, he was the Doctor of Thugonomics bad." No, 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 no. That's not the same. That's not the same. I heard this. I heard this on Cheap Heat, and this makes perfect sense. People talk about Hogan being a heel in AWA. That Hogan wasn't the WrestleMania main eventer Hogan that went on to become the leader of the NWO. This is John Cena when he is the most beloved you can ever be. He is on his way out. He chose to give us all a swerve and do the unthinkable, something we never thought would happen. They have always said the true greats at this game can do both. We know John Cena can be a great babyface. He did it for a decade plus. Now's the time for him to put those acting chops to work. Let's talk about the initial shock of the turn before we get to everything else that Cena did in this.
Like I said, I luckily I was not spoiled about this whatsoever, which made me enjoy it that much more just because I did not see it coming as much as I kind of, the goofy antics Cena had beforehand kind of was like, huh, that's I wouldn't be shocked if something happens right here, but I still didn't believe that they actually did it. It is definitely a moment, a monumental moment in wrestling history, something we're never going to forget.
No, it Triple H he put out there on social that this elimination chamber would be industry shifting. And god damn it.
And like I was entertained and shocked that it happened. So like in the moment, I thought it was just like my mind was blown. Now we can take the next step and talk about what this means. I think I might be a little different than a lot of people because I think a lot of people right now are like, "Oh my God, this is awesome! John Cena's a heel. This is going to be great." And
Well,
I'm being my usual pessimistic self right now.
let's talk about the beat down. So Dick Kick City, the watch, the Rolex watch that Dusty Rhodes pawned so he could support his family that Triple H and Nick Khan bought back for Cody. I gave it to him after he beat Roman Reigns in Philly for the WWE Championship. John Cena puts that on his fist like some brass knuckles and punches him with it. Now, I mean, you know what else that symbol? Your time is up. My time is now. It's a little thought right there. Um, then he gets hit multiple times with the championship. He's bloody. They're ripping off his shirt. Travis Scott is doing something with his arms, smacked the hell out of him. Allegedly, Cody busted his eardrum. We don't know. We don't know that for a fact. And then The Rock whips Cody Rhodes with a belt that says Cody Soul with the death date of his father. Think about that. That is next level heelish. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, the beatdown, it was a beatdown. It was definitely, I don't say over the top, but they really hammered it home, made it as violent as they can in WWE. We had another violent type match earlier on in the show, and really hammering on Cody's head. So you saw the blood coming from a mile away, and I am happy that we have blood now in WWE because it makes these moments feel a little bit more, gritty, a little more intense
Yeah,
with the blood.
I think the only blood we've seen really is what Cody
It's
getting whipped in the rain, the Hell in the Cell match with Drew and Punk, and then this.
I also find it interesting that it's three veterans that are doing this. I wonder, is there going to be a blading class or is someone going to like teach, one of
I've
the young kids how to do this? Because it's
I've
going to be very
actually
dangerous.
I've actually sat through a blading class.
And
So I have brother kayfabe. But nonetheless, I mean, just excellent. I mean, Cena holding up that championship. Uh just I mean, the photo of The Rock and John Cena together, the two Hollywood guys,
Travis Scott.
and Travis Scott. Yes, I mean there's a photo of just them. So, I mean Travis Scott's the Dennis Rodman and all this. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely did not buy five of those tops cards with all three of them, hoping that I can get the 101 autograph, but I'm probably not going to happen.
And you never know, man. You never know. But yeah, I mean, just I mean, we people are already saying it's better than Hogan's. We can't say that yet because we know what Hogan's led to, and plus, like with Hogan needed to he needed to turn. I mean, people were already by WrestleMania 9. You know, people were kind of already over it, and that's what 3 years before he actually turns and goes to a different company. Cena, like he could have just come back and did the Super Cena run and rode off into the sunset. But for him to choose now, like I said, when he's the most beloved he has ever been, to turn in the city where he announced his retirement, that's another layer of this. Chef's kiss. Now we have to let it play out. We have to see what it's going to lead to because uh I think you could still do it to where Cena does go back to being a baby face just before it's time to hang him up.
Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to pump the brakes right now on kind of this John Cena excitement because for decades we've been clamoring for a John Cena heel turn because people like Hulk Hogan in 1996, people were kind of rejected him. Now, not maybe not to the extent of Hogan because Cena still had his fans of the kids, but we were maybe thinking after WrestleMania 28 when he lost to The Rock, that would have been the perfect time And no, that didn't happen. And
Yeah, that would have been.
other times, 2010 or whenever, nope, it never happened. And then now, finally, in 2025, his retirement tour, he's universally, for the most part, I would say, getting cheered. Now, yes, I think the people in the crowds were kind of, we saw those signs of like "show up for work, John," which I don't know how much of that is like legitimate, like pissed off or just doing a joke. And so then he turns heel now. The whole point, I think the whole like negative parts of The Rock are like no one believes he's a heel. He's just cosplaying it. And one of the worst parts of John Cena, like we saw in the background of the Cody Rhodes segment, he's overacting. He's kind of goofy, and I mean that's kind of been Cena forever, especially his last run. I am just a little pessimistic that this heel character of John Cena is going to be, you know, perfect, and everyone's gonna buy in, and people are gonna like actually boo John Cena because it's still his retirement tour. People then are gonna show up to go see Cena for one last time. So I feel like this might be more Hogan in 2002 than Hogan
I
in 1996.
I mean, dude, I think John. I mean, John's a veteran of the game. He's so smart. I mean, you can't forget the 2013 heel turn, can you?
Or the 2011 heel turn when he stole Zack Ryder's girl.
Matt Cardona tried to tell us. JBL tried to tell us. I'm talking about when he literally was turning his heel in the ring, but that's neither here
Or
nor
every single episode of Total Bellas.
bro, my guy was Divas Bellas. My guy was a real menace on that show. I think it will be done well. I mean, because you have to look at it. Cody Rhodes is the first true over babyface since Hulk Hogan. When Hogan was around in the heyday of WrestleMania and Hulkamania, despite what despite how I feel and how the rest of the world feels about this guy, he was a true, genuine over babyface. Men, women, and children cheered him. Now people will say, "Oh, what about Sean and whatever?" Sean, boyhood dream happens. By the end of that year, he was getting booed. Uh, Austin Rock anti-heroes. John Cena was really there for the kids. Grown men were booing him out of buildings. You know what I'm saying? Cody, I mean, you go to these shows, men, women, and children are cheering him. They're doing the whoa. They love this guy. I think it's going to be good business, and the promos alone are going to carry this thing. And I mean, Cena, what you call it? He goes and does the press conference. He literally walks in there, picks up the mic, and drops it and leaves, and goes back to film his movie. I mean, what's a more heel thing than doing something so dastardly than just not showing up for work?
I do wonder, like, what is the Cena character? Like, is it just like we saw it in the press conference a little bit? Is it just he puts on a boo boo face and he just kind of like speaks in like mean platitudes? No, I don't think that's gonna work. Now, can Cena twist it in a way to where he kind of dial? If Cena, my whole thing is, I just don't think Cena has the capability of like dialing it back to like a 6 or a 7 to be like a menacing heel. He has to turn it up to like the cartoonish 10 bad guy. And that's the only thing I'm worried about right now. And also, him and The Rock, the track record of The Rock not being, at least recently, kind of on the heel track. It's just like, oh, look, guys, aren't we all having fun? Then I said you guys all have hepatitis and don't sing along with me, but then you can sing along with me. It's fine.
Yeah, but when he was gonna knock the syphilis off of somebody's face or lips or something,
Exactly.
said something crazy like that. So let's get back to the number, the number, the throat slit. So I mean, originally when The Rock threw up that three, there were three people in the ring at Bad Blood. It was Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and Jimmy Uso. I don't think he's gonna go after Jimmy Uso. And now see, and here's another thing. Now we know why The Rock was nice to Cody. Now we know why, because he wanted his soul. Now it makes sense.
Still don't know when he gave him Raw after WrestleMania, though.
I think it was the watch,
What's it, the watch?
or it was something. I think it was I think it was the watch.
We'll never know.
Now we everything counts. Hold on, now we'll find out eventually. So now slits his throat, throws up the two. I think that symbolizes because people are like, oh, there's going to be another person to join. I don't think it's that. I think it's one down, two more to go. I assume Roman Reigns is going to be one of those people. What if the third person he wants to get is Triple H? Remember, they had that stare down at the press conference in Las Vegas too. What do you think we could get what we never got with Hunter? I mean, with Vince and Shane, like a true battle for the company between The Rock and Triple H. I know Hunter can't wrestle, but he chooses a guy to go out there with The Rock.
I just don't think wrestling fans are like invested in a battle for a corporation. Just wrestle for, titles, wrestle for grudges,
No, we
and
don't
keep
we
it at
don't we don't
that.
know that. I mean, we don't even know if that's an option. We don't know if they're even going to go that way. If they do go that way, we won't know how the story is going to be told. I mean, just what 5 days ago, people were like, "Oh, this build to WrestleMania sucks," blah blah blah. Now everybody's all hyped for it. We have to let things play out. We have to let things take time. We don't know. I do believe one of the people that he's going to go after is Roman Reigns. As far as the third, you never know. Or it could be the other way around, and somebody else could be joining them. But
Yeah, I mean, the if Rock is gonna have just one more match in his career, I think it has to be Roman.
I think you can do. I mean, we could do John and Rock versus Roman and Cody, which is crazy.
I
I
At this point, I just will not believe The Rock will be in a ring again until he's in the ring because of his schedule and everything. So I don't know.
Yeah, John Cena is not scheduled again to show up until the March 17th episode of SmackDown or Raw. Ironically enough, that's the 20-year anniversary of when he debuted the "My Time Is Now" theme song.
So do we get a new John Cena theme? That's
I
the big
so I
question
mean,
everyone's asking for.
back in like 2012 or whatever, he talked about how the company thought about turning him heel. He had different gear made. He had a different song made. You think he just uses that?
Maybe. Or we go
Well,
back to we use I'm a Bad Man from the Thugonomics album. Great
yeah,
song.
people have been. I mean, that's been surfing the web or surfacing around the web now. Don't get it confused with Rikishi's "I'm a Bad Man." I'm a bad man, but I don't know, man. I think he'll do something different. I mean, this is corporate Cena now.
They're just gonna Def Rebel the his theme song.
No, I don't think so. I think that they'll do something different. He just wears black jorts. That's the heel. That's the he just wears black jean shorts or black camo or black over the ones with the pockets on the side.
Cargos.
Cargos. Yeah, there we go. There's black cargos.
Well, Cena had his little cargo era back in the mid 2010s.
Oh, he did. I messed with the cargos. The cargo shorts are very underrated. They're very breathable. You know, they don't really weigh on you.
Got all those pockets you can put
All your gimmicks in
all
your
your collectibles in there.
wallet, phone, all your gimmicks, all your
Your
vitamins.
Sage, if you're Travis Scott.
Brother, in the just again, shout out Drake was there. He didn't need the recognition. He's not a mark for himself. I appreciate that.
I did like how Travis Scott was like just awkwardly drinking his like seltzer, which I'm a Travis Scott guy. That seltzer is dog shit. It is not good.
He has his own seltzer.
Yep, it's like cacti or something.
What the freak is that?
It's been out for a while because, during the pandemic, everyone had a seltzer. And I tried it. Not good. Overpriced and not good. I'd rather just have a high noon for the same price.
I see. I see. Uh, I guess we can go on with.
Oh, yeah, there's other stuff on the show. Also,
Yeah,
I would not be shocked if John Cena ends up beating The Rock up at the end of WrestleMania. Like, I would not be shocked if like this is
that.
like a 2 month thing and we're back to happy Cena.
Nah, he has to go at least until like when SummerSlam, like July, or we can go at least until September, and then you get 3 months to enjoy the ride.
And we're definitely gonna get a John Cena I turned heel. Can you guys believe I actually turned heel joke like in December? Like in his farewell tour. Like, oh guys, you guys been asking all that time and I finally did it. You're welcome.
Yeah,
Anyways, I'm sure we will talk about the John Cena heel turn and the road to WrestleMania many, many times in the upcoming episodes. But let's get on back to the show proper. Um,
we had an unsanctioned match that happened after this, right? Or before
no,
this.
we did. Kevin Owens took on and defeated Sami Zayn 27 minutes, 35 seconds. I thought this match was phenomenal. I thought this was as much as the John Cena stuff was the headlines. I thought this was the best stuff on the show. My only critique at the end of it in the moment was, man, I really wish this match had blood in it. But then, you know, I understand why it didn't have blood in it after all that. But uh, it was a really good match. Kevin Owens won, and then Randy Orton comes back after all this, and then it's like, okay, because after the match, I was like, okay, we can have like a rematch at WrestleMania. Sami Zayn gets his lick back, but now Randy Orton's involved. Is it a triple threat match? Is Sammy written off for a while, and then it's just gonna be Randy and Kevin Owens at WrestleMania?
Yeah, no, hell of a match. Face first on the barbed wire. Was it chair? Yeah, there should have been blood, but we know why there wasn't. Randy Orton's gonna punt Kevin Owens' head off at WrestleMania.
Yep, teased it, and then just happened to be all the security guards and referees stopped him right when he happened. He couldn't do that for like first 2 minutes when he was obviously setting it up.
I mean, you RKO'd him. You got to RKO.
Well, and then he RKO'd all the poor security guards. I hate to
Hey
see
man,
that.
don't get in Randy's way. The Viper's back.
So do you think is it a triple threat match at WrestleMania, which seems to
Why?
be like the third? It almost feels like we're getting three triple threat matches right now.
No, no, Sammy can go do something else.
What could
I
that
mean,
be? I
last year
don't
he
know.
randomly found his way into an IC title match, so he can go do something else.
He figured out. Well, is it technically Kevin Owens and Randy Orton are on SmackDown, and Sami Zayn's on Raw, so whatever that's worth, they would be separated.
Yeah, exactly my point.
Yeah. Well, great match. Question marks on what's going to happen next, but yeah, thought it was a fun, hardcore, unsanctioned brawl, and actual wrestling was also involved from time to time as well. Going back for the second match, Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus took on Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Standard tag team match. This one went 11 minutes and 40 seconds. Tiffany pinned Nia Jax clean, so I kind of questioned what would the finish be, and Tiffany just beats Nia with the prettiest moonsault ever. Obviously, trying to build her up a little bit, even though I'm still not a fan of what they're doing with her and Charlotte. Crowd was into her and Trish, but I don't think this does anything like monumental for the momentum of Tiffany Stratton. It was just kind of there, kind of a time filler.
Yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate. We could have got so many other things going on.
Happy for my girl Candice being able to wrestle Tiffany Stratton or Trish Stratus. Too many
Yes,
TSs in this match.
yes. Or what did Nia Jax call her? Her candy cane.
Sure.
Yeah. I still what Nia and Trish at Mania? No, we're not getting that.
Maybe. I mean, maybe Trish finds another tag team partner.
We can do it. We can do a singles match. Give him 7 minutes. It'll be all right.
Trish Stratus body slams Nia Jax, bigger than Hogan and
All
Andre
right.
at WrestleMania 3.
Bigger than Luger body slamming Yokozuna. Go check out the Chris Van Vliet episode with Lex Luger. I think he just released one with AJ Styles. Shout out. Let's see what else is going on here. The Women's Chamber.
Yep. Before it even, well, I guess once it started, Jade Cargill made her return and absolutely battered Naomi. Instead of like running towards Naomi, she goes towards Liv and then veers right into Naomi. I feel like they could have cleaned it up a little bit of like Naomi and Liv like being right in front of each other because it just made it like an obvious swerve for the sake of being a swerve. Once again, nitpick, but I thought that was kind of eye rolling. She attacks Naomi. Bianca just way over the top in her reaction, which I think it cut both ways of her being overreacting because she's involved or overreacting because she was truly shocked.
She's not
So
involved. I don't think she's
I
involved.
think which way it'll make sense.
That wouldn't make sense for her to be involved
Why not?
because she left a qualifying match for the Women's United States Championship to go aid Jade. So you're telling me Bianca sabotaged her opportunity to become a champion once again, a first ever champion at that, to add to her legacy because she attacked Jade and wanted to throw people off the scent? I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. And
I mean,
plus,
like,
like Jade getting attacked didn't really like lead to her becoming a single star. Just Naomi just swooped in and filled the role.
which would mean Naomi had something to get from it.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like it was Naomi. I don't think it was Bianca.
I know. I think Michael Cole and the commentators could have like sold it a little better as well. They like made it like seem like this shocking thing of like, oh my God, why is she doing this? Like,
My God, Jade Cargill's gone ape shit on Naomi. Oh my God.
yeah, I think if there's someone who knows who attacked Jade Cargill, I think it would be Jade Cargill Cole. So I think there's a reason she's going after Naomi and not going after Liv and Raquel or Liv Morgan who's in there. So I think that one was a little dumb. But the beatdown was intense, and the crowd did pop for Jade returning, so that was good. Um,
The
may-
storm is coming.
Maybe just a straight up singles match of her and Naomi. That would be interesting because that would be like Jade's first real like singles match on a big stage, right? Because
Yeah.
everything else she's been basically in tag matches and then one off like kind of squash singles matches. So
That'd be big for Naomi too, you know. Big I mean because I mean other than like championship matches, this is like the woman's feud with an actual story.
yeah, and as much as like I would like to see Bianca maybe turn and maybe kind of refine her character a little bit, like Naomi, I've never seen her be a heel. Like I don't know, I don't think she did anything like that in TNA.
Bro, team bad. What are you talking about?
No, I mean, it's Team Bad. I mean, were they really heels?
But
They were just kind of like
you
themselves. So we'll see
I
what
mean
happens with
what
this.
do you mean the other group were the baby faces, they were the heels. What are you talking about?
All right. I guess I
You don't
forget
remember the
the
submission
team.
sorority?
I'm sorry. I don't forget. I would forget the submission sorority. How could I forget that?
Being PCB?
Yeah, PCP. Shout out. Um,
Hello, hold it down.
but yeah. So getting to the match proper, we had Naomi Bailey, Roxanne Perez, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Bianca Belair. I think Liv Morgan, she was kind of the star of this. She wrestled, she started from the beginning, lasted all the way to the end.
As she should. She's a star.
Her character work I thought has been really good. Her in-ring work maybe has a little bit to be desired, but in this one I thought she did quite well. And she was kind of all over the place. She took that brutal hair whip from Bianca, and I don't think Liv was selling at all. That thing looked like it legit hurt, and she had like bruises and abrasions all over her body. Uh, Bailey gets eliminated first. Well, I guess technically Naomi got eliminated first, but you know what I mean. Bailey got eliminated from Liv Morgan. Alexa Bliss got eliminated by sorry, Roxanne Perez got eliminated by Alexa Bliss, and then Bliss got eliminated by Morgan, and then Morgan got eliminated by Belair. So Roxanne Perez kind of like the Logan Paul. I don't know why she was in that match. Like, okay, maybe they're building something with Bailey at NXT, but they don't really talk about it that much, except for just like an offhanded comment.
Bailey, Roxanne, WrestleMania.
I think it's Bailey, Roxanne, and Stand Deliver.
Is Roxanne still in NXT?
Yeah, she's still there.
So what's Bailey do at WrestleMania?
Nothing. She's gonna be a Stand Deliver. Allegedly. I don't know. Um,
Because I'm looking at it. There's multiple things you can do. You can have like 7 matches each night. That's decent.
that's a lot. I mean, this was 4 matches, and yes, I know 2 of them were Elimination Chambers, so it was gonna be longer than normal, but
But like, not every match has to go 12 to 15. Matches can go 6 to 8 or 8 to 10.
yeah, but then you gotta sneak in all your Slim Jim commercials and, tax breaks and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, it's better than what 14 matches in one day. It's broken up.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's worse than that, but let's just stick to like 5 or 6.
7 one night, 6 the next.
Because John Cena and Cody Rhodes are going 60.
Brother. Speaking of going 60, you heard about Ric Flair, saying, "Hey, I'm going to show up."
He's getting 18. He's gonna get 17 before Cena does.
I mean, it's 21, but okay.
Ah, well, don't let facts get in the way of a good story.
All right, come on. All right, that's going to do it for us. Marlee is going to pop in with her Elimination Chamber thoughts.
Couple days removed from Elimination Chamber, I have had time to let my thoughts and feelings settle, and outside of the Drake appearance, I'm fully satisfied with how Elimination Chamber played out. This is the first time in a while that a pay-per-view has ended and I don't hate the results or I don't feel some type of way by the end of the show. I feel like everything was perfectly played out, was perfectly executed. I feel like, as someone who has not really been a fan of Elimination Chamber prior, has always thought of the Elimination Chamber as a filler episode, they brought me back with this one. And even going back and watching old Elimination Chamber matches leading up to this one, it's growing on me. It's growing on me. From a filler episode to an actual step on the road to WrestleMania. I'm feeling it. Although I do miss when participating in the Elimination Chamber meant that you won the title instead of winning a title shot. If we could bring that back, man, it would up the ante on the road to WrestleMania so much more. But outside of the Drake appearance, perfect pay-per-view from top to bottom. And if I say pay-per-view, I mean PLE, because his mama named him pay-per-view. I'ma call him pay-per-view. But know that I mean PLE. The only real complaint I had match-wise was Tiffany and Trish versus Nia and Candice, because it just felt like a match that was thrown together, and I wasn't as invested in it because Trish has nothing to do with what's going on between Nia and Tiffany, and they really would have benefited from Nia and Tiffany running it back again, considering how their last match didn't end in a clean finish. And on the opposite side of that, Tiffany and Trish one-on-one would have been an even better idea, because if they're trying to build Tiffany up and Trish is the woman that you use to build the women up, a one-on-one with Tiffany and Trish, especially in Trish's home country, would have made the most sense. I mean, granted, you can't give Trish a loss in her home country because it's Trish Stratus, but I don't know. I feel like a one-on-one instead of a tag match would have made that storyline or the outcome of that a little bit better. Wasn't mad at the women's chamber results. I mean, I think I did choose Bianca just because she has the Mania streak. You can't break the Mania streak. It just makes the most sense. We didn't need Liv and Rhea again. We can push that off for another year. That's honestly something I wouldn't mind seeing at next year's WrestleMania. But this year, I feel like they've done it too much that it would just be overplayed. And then, even the ante of not knowing if Bianca is going to fight Io or Rhea, that would be the one triple threat at this year's Mania I wouldn't be upset at. I wouldn't be upset with Rhea and Bianca. I wouldn't be upset at Io and Bianca. Like, that was the right way to go, because she can work with either one of them, or all three of them can work together, and it wouldn't be terrible. So I'm just hoping that the title match, the Raw after Chamber, doesn't end in some fuck shit, for lack of a better phrase. Kevin and Sammy, they had me in the first half where I wasn't really as invested, and I think it was because they followed the tag team match, and so they kind of lost me. But halfway through, they brought me back, and I was like, wow, this is exactly what I was talking about. I didn't think Kevin was going to get the win. I felt like Sammy needed the win in that one, but Kevin getting the win, I wasn't mad at. And then even setting up the Randy Orton return. Yeah, I love the matches where you can't really tell who's going to win. It could go either way. Even if you could tell who is going to win or not, while you're watching it, you don't know who can win. That's what I really liked. And that's what I really liked about Kevin and Sammy. Same with the men's chamber. I was all team CM Punk, but it was kind of just like anybody could win that men's chamber. And I wouldn't be upset about it. I think I said Punk or Cena. And Cena winning was definitely the way to go. But was I expecting it to go like that? Absolutely not. No. I didn't think Cody was going to sell his soul to The Rock, but I also didn't think that Cena was going to turn heel either. So the way that they set that up and executed that, props to them, because nobody knew. I even had my boss at work asking me how I felt about Cena turning heel, and I'm not even mad at it, because we haven't had heel Cena since 2003, which was over 20 years ago. And if you're going to turn John Cena heel, his retirement tour is the place to do it, cuz that's how you go out. That's if you are going to send John Cena out with the bang, turning him heel is the way to do it. It's the last run. What other time do you have to turn John Cena heel? Let's be so for real about that. But ultimately, perfect show, top to bottom. Who knows what this means going into WrestleMania now? Just all around excitement now.
Thank you, Marlee Mark. Glad you enjoyed the chamber. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. We'll be back later in this week to recap everything, the fallout from Elimination Chamber, new champions. Brandon's going to talk about his time at AEW Collision and more. Thank you so much. As always, be safe and stay dangerous. Yes, sir.